for 4 months in prison.
Small dick, small dick, small dick, small dick.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to speak up.
In Danbury, Connecticut, the heckling was relentless.
Oh, he thinks it's an absolute shame. President Trump often describes America as a nation in decline.
Greene's news conference declined quickly. The sign read, "Bleach blonde, bad-built butch body." That's a reference to an epic put-down of MTG coined just a few weeks ago in a House hearing.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. Trump laws.
On top of the saying and the sign, the heckler drowned out Greene with a cowbell.
Well, there's more than just Steve. There were many others that didn't follow the subpoena, but yet they weren't prosecuted. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Anybody else, or are they enjoying more cowbell? That's all she had.
And with that, Greene surrendered.
Okay, thank you guys.
But the real surrender on this day came from Steve Bannon.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Just before he entered the federal prison to begin serving a 4-month sentence, Bannon stepped to the microphones with Greene, and they both got heckled.
American people need that truth. If it takes me going to prison to get that, I would do that any day of the week, and that's what we're trying to drive here. Councilman Greene, some thoughts?
No, I totally agree with what Steve just said. It's the lack of action in the Republican-controlled House that has been the problem all along. The fact that Steve did not obey that congressional subpoena was the right thing to do because the committee was illegitimate from the beginning.
Amazing, right? Freedom of speech is an incredible thing. And on public property or in public space, there is nothing the target or targets of the ridicule can do except try and take it. There seems nothing that Greene can do about ridicule in general. She seems to invite it all the time, and we will get back to her in a moment. But first, Steve Bannon. By all accounts, Bannon helped plan the January 6th rally. And on his podcast the day before, he even spoke about what was coming.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. It's all converging, and now we're on, as they say, the point of attack, right? The point of attack tomorrow. I'll tell you this. It's not going to happen like you think it's going to happen, okay? It's going to be quite extraordinarily different. And all I can say is strap in.
During the congressional investigation into January 6th, Bannon refused to be interviewed or comply with subpoenas to provide documents and testimony. And in 2022, a criminal trial jury convicted Bannon of contempt of Congress. And Bannon is not getting any sympathy now from many Republicans.
Bannon says I'm the first to go to prison under President Trump. I don't lose any sleep over it. I'm not worried about that.
I think he's in prison right now himself. Let me ask you, Bill Barr, finally, if you were, I don't mean to make light of that.
Fox News Channel's Neil Cavuto may not intend for him or Bill Barr to make light of Bannon sitting in a prison, but the Lincoln Project is certainly having fun with it. Here's their latest ad.
Hey, Steve. A wise man once said, kick someone's ass the first day or become someone's bitch. Of course, you may run into some problems on both of those fronts. First of all, you look about as intimidating as a butterfly fart. So kicking anyone's ass will probably result in becoming someone's bitch anyway. Of course, then comes the problem that you've clearly let yourself go for, well, I guess you've always looked that way, haven't you? Either way, you should probably explore some more options. We humbly recommend you check out the skinheads. They're organized, their haircuts are easy, and there's a really solid chance you all agree on just about everything. And look, we all get it. This is a big interruption in the election season, and you're barely going to have time to plan your next coup. But try to take some time to reflect on things, okay? We'll be here waiting when you get out.
I believe there was more than one reference in that ad to prison rape. Well, several lawyers are also laughing at Bannon's predicament, at least regarding the basics now available to him behind bars. Headline, Steve Bannon laughed at by legal experts listing items he can buy in prison. Quote, Peter Strzok suggested Bannon consider using a razor to shave his face. Other hygiene items that will be available include a variety of soaps, including moisturizing soaps and Dove men's body wash, dental picks, nose hair scissors, pumice stones, and nail files. A brush-comb combo for the first time in his life, said Strzok. Law enforcement officials add that Bannon has no internet access and will be limited in his phone calls and emails. Bannon's lawyer expects the former Trump political advisor will be assigned to work as a janitor in the prison library, cleaning up everybody else's mess. Well, Bannon should consider himself lucky if he doesn't get assigned to clean up duties in the prison bathrooms. Now, let's go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene, who spends a lot of her time shoveling BS across the country and in the halls of Congress. A few days before Greene came to Connecticut to show solidarity with Bannon, Greene gave a floor speech in the U.S. House. And it sure seemed like Greene might have been projecting her concerns about Bannon's prison experience. You see, Greene, in her final floor speech before appearing with Bannon, spoke out against federal money being used to fight HIV and AIDS in Africa. Greene wants the money spent here in the United States.
We continue to fund USAID with billions of dollars to address AIDS and other diseases all over the world. We should be caring about Americans, and we should be funding the treatment for Americans here at home.
Yes, Marge is now concerned about the treatment of people with AIDS here at home.
In 2022, more than 275,000 sex workers and many others around the world received HIV medication from USAID. Again, the American people are over $34.5 trillion in debt. USAID also implements programs that identify and respond to the unique needs of women, men, girls, boys, and those of other gender identities. By the way, there aren't any, there's only two, of all ages and abilities in their diversity, so they can equally access and use HIV prevention and treatment services, protect themselves, protect healthy behaviors, exercise their rights, and live free from violence, stigma, and discrimination. I think Americans here would like to live free from violence.
I'm certain Steve Bannon wants to be free from prison violence. Was Marjorie Taylor Greene projecting? Either way, Greene invites ridicule literally every time she opens her mouth. And now, at least when Greene is out in public, the hecklers are showing no mercy. And they say their taunting of Greene will keep going. By the way, a Karen from the MAGA group Moms for Liberty recently got owned while on vacation in Hawaii. The Karen erupted at the sight of a group of drag queens.
I spent $3,000 to stay here. I'm not having my child see a man pretending to be a woman. This is completely offensive to me.
I'm sorry. Then you should leave.
No, because I paid $3,000 to be here. I'd like to talk to the manager.
He's right there.
In Hawaii, the Karen who wants to talk to a hotel manager about some drag queens is named Beth Bourne. She's a founder of the California chapter of the conservative Moms for Liberty, and Bourne is an employee of the University of California, Davis.
Okay, why do you think it's okay to pretend that you're a woman?
We were invited here.
You were invited here? Who invited you here?
The manager.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Wendy Lynn, who wrote, "That Karen is the only one who is degrading women." I agree. I look forward to reading your comments about Marjorie Taylor Greene getting heckled and humiliated to her face. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.